Welcome to Ancient Echoes, where forgotten stories refuse to stay buried. If you crave legends, lost lands, and mysteries older than memory, you're in the right place. Subscribe, and let's uncover what the world was never meant to remember. For over 500 years, maps of the North Atlantic showed a strange island. It appeared just west of Ireland, often circular, sometimes split by a river. The name? Hy-Brasil, not to be confused with Brazil in South America. This Hy-Brasil was a mystery, a riddle drawn in ink, passed between sailors, monks, and kings. It showed up on Portolan charts as early as 1325, often surrounded by fog or marked with warnings. Some said it was a land of immortal scholars and towering black stone halls. Others swore it was ruled by gods, or creatures that looked like men, but were not. And what made it more disturbing, people claimed to have landed there. In 1497, a Venetian sailor named John Cabot returned from a voyage west with a wild tale. We saw an island, large, green, alive, but when we returned days later, it was gone. So what was it? A real island swallowed by the sea? A mirage? Or something the Earth was only allowed to show us once every few generations? Hy-Brasil wasn't just legend. It was mapped over and over by cartographers across Europe. From Angelino Dulcet in 1325 to Pietro Visconti to even Gerard Deus Mercator, they all included it. Not just once, for centuries. But here's the mystery. The island would appear on a map for one generation and be removed the next. Why? Some said it was a trick of the light. Others believed it was a thin place where Earth briefly touched another realm. Sailors recorded sightings as late as 1674, describing a great domed island that shimmered like glass. Then came the most chilling entry, a captain named John Nisbet. He claimed to land on Hy-Brasil, said the island had glowing ruins, robed men, and a silent city carved into black stone. But when they set sail again, the island simply vanished behind the mist. None of his crew would ever speak of it again. Who or what lived on Hy-Brasil? The oldest Irish legends say it was home to immortal priests, guardians of forbidden knowledge. Some said it was a land without sickness or death. Others believed it was a place where time passed differently, that a single night on Hy-Brasil could be 100 years on Earth. Then came the stranger theories. In the 20th century, UFO researchers noticed a pattern. Many reported encounters off the coast of Ireland, right where Hy-Brasil was drawn. In 1980, during the Rendlesham Forest incident in England, a U.S. Air Force officer received a binary code after touching a craft. That code, it included coordinates. Coordinates that pointed to Hy-Brasil. Coincidence? Or was Hy-Brasil never an island at all, but something watching us from the edge of our perception? For centuries, Hy-Brasil held its place on maps, until suddenly it didn't. After the mid-1800s, it vanished, not from the sea, but from history. No more sightings, no more charts. Map makers began to leave it blank, as if the world quietly agreed it was never there. But what changed? Was it erosion, a collapse, or was it a decision made by those who knew what it really was? Some believe the rise of modern science intimidated old institutions into removing it. Others say secret societies protected its location. But sailors kept whispering. Even into the 20th century, fishing crews off Ireland swore they saw a golden land beneath the mist. And when they turned back, it was gone. Always gone. Scientists, of course, have their explanations. Some claim Hy-Brasil was just a phantom island, a trick of light on the sea. The phenomenon is called a superior mirage, when cold air bends sunlight and makes distant land appear where none exists. Others suggest it may have been a now submerged island, sunken due to volcanic collapse or rising seas. But there's one more theory, that Hy-Brasil was the product of a magnetic anomaly, a place where compasses fail, where electronics malfunction. In 2012, researchers mapped part of the Atlantic and discovered strange magnetic pulses near the supposed location of Hy-Brasil. The data was never fully released, but it adds to the idea that the island isn't just hidden, it may be shielded by nature or design. For those who believe in lost civilizations, Hy-Brasil is more than a mystery. It's a key. The island shares eerie similarities with Atlantis. Circular shape, advanced inhabitants, sudden disappearance. In ancient Celtic myth, Hy-Brasil was called the Otherworld, a place of truth, healing, and light. Could it have been a survivor colony from a greater civilization? Or perhaps a remnant of Atlantis itself? Some researchers even suggest it's the same island, just remembered under different names by different cultures. Plato wrote Atlantis sank in a single day. Sailors said Hy-Brasil rose for a single day every 7 years. What if Atlantis didn't sink? What if it just moved? Some who claimed to land on Hy-Brasil came back different. In 1674, Irish explorer Captain John Nisbet wrote that the island was inhabited by silent beings, robed tall and glowing faintly in the mist. They never spoke, but his crew swore they understood them anyway. After returning, Nisbet was plagued by vivid dreams of symbols, stars, and forgotten languages. His ship's log was eventually lost, but later sailors told similar stories. A man who returned mute, a woman who aged 40 years in one night, another who returned with pages of writings in a language no one could read. Some believe they had entered a time slip, where dimensions briefly collided. Others thought Hy-Brasil was not a place at all, but a living entity testing those who found it. In the early 1900s, a few ships still claimed to see it, but then nothing. One last reported sighting came in 1924 from a transatlantic crew who described a dome-shaped landform glowing on the water, then vanishing like steam. After that, silence. No more records. No more charts. As if Hy-Brasil had simply decided not to return. Some say the island fulfilled its purpose. Others think it may rise again when the world is ready, or when it needs to be warned. Modern researchers have connected Hy-Brasil to a concept older than myth. The Veil, a place where dimensions blur, like the Bermuda Triangle or Skinwalker Ranch. These are geographic pressure points, where reality becomes unstable. Could Hy-Brasil be one of them? A gateway? A memory? Or something that slips in and out of time itself? Celtic legend called it Tir na Nog, the land of the young, where no one dies, where the sun never sets. If such a place exists, maybe we were never meant to find it. Maybe we only catch glimpses, as reminders of a truth too big to hold. So, where's Hy-Brasil now? Is it gone? Or just waiting? Some believe it will return when the world is on the brink, to warn us, like it has before. Others believe it's been watching all along, that it lives just beyond the horizon, hidden by the sea's breath, forgotten, but never gone, because some places don't disappear. They choose to be unseen. And if you ever find yourself at sea, in the early morning mist, look west. You may not see land, but something may be watching you. This is Ancient Echoes. Subscribe to Walk Where Legends Breathe, because some stories vanish only when we stop remembering.